Salutations, this is Crazed Kitsune, aka Khuma'zi Tayuun, and welcome to Machinist for Dummies, level 60. In this video, I'm going to be going over the skills you get after level 50 up to level 60. Later down the line, there will be a level 70 video, but that will happen once I get Machinist to 70. As you can see, I'm only 60. I will not be repeating anything I covered in the level 50 video, so if you want the basics of Machinist overall, you're going to have to look up that video. In this video, we're just discussing the new skills and how they affect the old. I apologize for any clicking in the video. That's me muting my mic while I spit up phlegm. My throat hates me. Without further ado, let's get into the things that are up to level 60, starting with your traits. At level 60, you get Enhanced Dexterity 3, which is 24 Dexterity. That's it. Now for your skills. At level 52, through a job quest, unless this was changed, you get Gauss Barrel. This is a 10-second cooldown ability. The cooldown only starts if you remove Gauss Barrel. And this is what interacts with all those skills in the first video, where I said we'll be getting to that in another video. Upon equipping Gauss Barrel, you will do 5% more damage than you used to, and you will activate the heat gauge, which will increase with every execution of a weapon skill. If your heat gauge reaches maximum, your weapon will become overheated for the next 10 seconds, during which you will do 10% more damage. Sounds useful, right? More or less it is, but Gauss Barrel will deactivate as soon as your overheat period ends. And for the next 10 seconds, you can't put Gauss Barrel back on. So it's a short damage up, followed by a short damage down. So now that that has been discussed, it's time to go over what Gauss Barrel does with your various skills. With Split Shot, each time you use Split Shot when you have Gauss Barrel active, you will gain 5 heat. Slug Shot also gives you 5 heat. Reload will completely prevent heat generation, allowing you to use 3 weapon skills without generating any heat. This is to prolong the amount of time you have Gauss Barrel active, because you don't want it to be turned off if you can help it. Sadly, you can't stop it from happening. At least in prolonged fights. In short enough fights, you might be able to go long enough and get some quick reloads going. But Heartbreak doesn't do anything. Reassemble and Blank do not have an effect with Gauss Barrel. Spread Shot increases your heat by 10. So if you're in an AoE fight, you're going to hit overheat a lot faster. Quick Reload will reduce your heat by 10. Hot Shot increases it by 10. Rapid Fire doesn't affect it. Clean Shot increases it by 5. Wildfire, your auto turrets and your turret retrieval do not affect your heat gauge. Alright, next up, at level 54, you get Gauss Round, a 15-second cooldown 200 potency attack. This ability costs you nothing to use it, so there's no reason to not use it every 15 seconds. Except if you're trying to unleash a maximum ultimate yield burst through the Gauss Barrel overheat. Then you'll be holding on to it until your Gauss Barrel overheats if you're getting close. At level 56, you get Dismantle, a 90-second cooldown that will debuff the targeted enemy for 5 seconds, making them do 10% less damage. This can be very useful if you know the enemy is about to fire off a tank buster. At level 58, you get Hypercharge, a 2-minute cooldown which will hypercharge your turret for 20 seconds. You can't use it if you don't have a turret out, and it will increase the potency of your turret and also cause it to debuff the enemy. With the Rook turret, it doubles its potency from 80 to 160 and will cause the victim of its target, of its attacks, to take 5% more damage for 10 seconds, which will refresh every time it shoots the target until it's no longer hypercharged. The Bishop auto turret is only boosted to 90 potency rather than doubling, but it's AoE still, so still good. And like the Rook auto turret, it will put a 10-second debuff on the enemy, making them take 10% more damage. So you would use this for some burst. You throw them out, you hypercharge them, and you unleash. Or say you're trying to do the absolute maximum possible damage you can squeeze out of a wildfire. You'll hold on to hypercharge with your Rook auto turret out until your Gauss barrel is about to overheat. As soon as your Gauss barrel overheats, you'd throw out your wildfire, use reload, use rapid fire, hypercharge your turret, unleash your combo, fire off your Gauss round, and your level 60 skill, Ricochet, which is a 60-second cooldown that has a 5 Yalm radius. That's right, it's AoE. It's a potency 300 attack with diminishing returns on additional targets. Second target takes 10% less, third 20%, fourth 30%, fifth 40%, and the sixth targets and beyond are taking half damage. But that's still a good chunk of AoE damage. So that means you overheat your Gauss barrel, you throw your wildfire, you pop your ammo, you pop rapid fire, you use your skill combos, you use quick reload to make another skill stronger, you have your turret hypercharged, and you throw Gauss round and Ricochet, all to stack as much damage as you can in 10 seconds. So that when your wildfire detonates, it does as much damage as possible. Since hypercharge lasts for 20 seconds, you can hypercharge your turret before your Gauss barrel hits overheat, so that it's already going, because each cooldown you activate is a 0.5 second wait before you can use another skill. So you'd have your turret hypercharged, your Gauss barrel overheats, you throw wildfire, you pop ammo, you pop rapid fire, use your attacks. It sounds very complicated, and it sort of is. But that's everything covered. And here we see Gauss barrel activated. After activating it for 10 seconds, you can't take it off. Now, I'm going to demonstrate each of the skills, and then I'm going to attempt a mass burst once they are all off cooldown. There's Dismantle. It's doing less damage for a little while. Gauss round. Friggin' Red Mage, get off my tower. Fine, I'll play with this one. There's Ricochet. Let's see. Let me hypercharge my Rook. See that? That thing has vulnerability up on it. Isn't that nice? Let's see. What else can I demonstrate? Oh, yeah. If I remove my Gauss barrel, yeah, I can't put it back on for 10 seconds. But other than an overheating Gauss barrel, that's everything. And, of course, Rook Auto Turret in Hypercharge, which I can demonstrate once Hypercharge is off cooldown. But, as you can see, you're still a fully mobile ranged DPS. The only change is that you do a little bit more damage, and you have a slightly more complicated burst if you're going for your maximum possible. So things can get a little dicey and complicated. Oh, and yeah, that's the heat gauge there. It's actually kind of pretty. See here. Oh, Hypercharge is almost off cooldown. Awesome. Those striking dummies are pretty busy at the moment, it seems. But that's to be expected. This stuff did just come out, so people are super excited to try out the new stuff. I'm going to put my Rook Auto Turret here. Because I am intending to... Okay. So, I'm going to do suboptimal because I'm going to try and demonstrate the ultimate maximum burst. So, I'm literally just going to spam my biggest, a 10 heat skill as much as I can to build up. Okay. So we're almost in overheat, as you can see. One more hot shot and my barrel will overheat. And then for 10 seconds I do 10% more damage. So, let's see. I have to make sure I remember at what I'm doing. This is still fairly new. Alright, so... Hypercharge. I messed up. Wonderful. I was hitting all the wrong buttons. Very sorry. Absolutely, totally professional video, folks. What are you talking about? Well, at least I know that the Bishop Auto Turret was in the right position. I'm going to throw out my Rook Auto Turret just for simplicity. And once this skill comes off cooldown again, because I kept trying to put my Rook Auto Turret down like a dumb butt because I wasn't hitting the right button. I was supposed to hit this button, not this button. But yeah, as you can see, while I have ammo, I'm not gaining any heat off my hotshot. Okay, now I'm going to sit at 90 heat. Oh, and we can see a bard over there playing with their skills. What level are they? Oh, they're level 60. This here is a level 50 samurai. And you are a level 60 scholar. Oh, hey, somebody who's queued for a duty. What level are you? Level 60 samurai. Well, they've been hard at work. Samurai's only been out for a day. Alright. Hypercharge is off cooldown. So, hypercharge the turret. Yeah, I probably messed that up. It is still fairly new, but that was the basic idea. Where you throw everything you've got. Oh yeah, I definitely messed that up, because I forgot to throw in these skills. Whoops. I got so wrapped up in remembering my ammo, I forgot something else. I'm bad. Really, I'm just out of practice. It's been a while. But those are the basics of the new abilities, how they interact with the old, and the new hyper burstiness. Where you overheat your barrel, you throw wildfire. Well, you hypercharge your turret, overheat your barrel, throw wildfire, load some ammo, pop rapid fire, use reassemble on your clean shot for maximum damage burstiness, use quick reload, use these two skills. It's somewhat straightforward, it's just remembering to do everything in the heat of the moment. And that will change later with something that happens in post 60 from what I've seen. But we'll get to that when I make my 70 video. With that, I hope this video has been informative and helpful for the level 60 content of Machinist. If not, oh well, I was making the video anyway, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And until my next video, goodbye.